It was a silent night until a woman made a 911 call that lasted only 17 seconds. She whispered 5 words that would haunt investigators forever. "He's inside the house, help." Then, the line went dead, and she was never seen alive again. It was a small suburban town in the United States, the year 2018. The victim was a 29-year-old woman named Emily Carter, a quiet hard-working nurse, loved by coworkers and trusted by neighbors. She lived alone in a small rented house on the edge of town, nothing fancy, nothing unusual, until that one night, the night she vanished. Emily had built a simple life, working long shifts at a local hospital, rarely going out, keeping her circle small, but friends noticed something strange in the weeks before her disappearance. She became nervous, easily startled, always checking her phone, always locking doors twice. There was one person in her life who stood out, her ex-boyfriend Daniel Brooks. On the surface he seemed normal, charming, confident, polite in public, but behind closed doors friends say he was controlling, jealous, possessive. Emily had recently ended the relationship, but Daniel didn't accept it, and that's where the fear began. It was a Thursday night. Emily returned home around 10:42 p.m. after her shift. Neighbors later reported seeing her lights turn on. Everything seemed normal, but at 11:18 p.m. something changed. A 911 call was placed from her phone. The dispatcher answered immediately. There was breathing on the line, fast, panicked. Then Emily's voice came through, soft, terrified. "He's inside the house." The dispatcher tried to respond, but suddenly a loud crash was heard, a scream, then silence. The call ended. Authorities were dispatched within minutes. Police arrived at Emily's home at 11:31 p.m. The front door was slightly open, the lights were still on, her phone was on the kitchen floor, but Emily Carter was gone. No struggle outside, no sign of forced entry at first glance, no witness nearby, just silence and a missing woman. Police immediately treated the case as suspicious. A search of the house revealed disturbing details: a coffee mug still warm, a jacket thrown across the couch, and a half-written text message on her phone: "If anything happens tonight." It stopped mid-sentence. Detectives focused on one key question: was Emily taken or did she run? But something didn't add up. Her car was still in the driveway, her purse was inside, her shoes were near the door. It looked like she never planned to leave. Then came the 911 call replay. Investigators analyzed the audio carefully. They noticed something chilling: a second voice, faint in the background, a man's voice, but it was unclear what he said. Still, one suspect immediately stood out: Daniel Brooks. Police brought him in for questioning. At first Daniel denied everything, said he hadn't seen Emily in days, said she was moving on with her life, even claimed he was at a friend's house that night. But when detectives checked his phone records they found something disturbing. He had been near Emily's home that night, very close, too close to be coincidence. The case took a darker turn when a neighbor came forward. She reported hearing something unusual that night around 11:15 p.m. just minutes before the 911 call. She heard an argument, a man yelling, a woman pleading, then silence. But the biggest breakthrough came weeks later. A security camera from a gas station nearby captured a dark vehicle parked less than a mile from Emily's home. Inside the footage investigators identified Daniel's car, but Daniel still denied being there. Until forensic evidence changed everything. A trace of Emily's blood was found inside Daniel's trunk. He claimed he had no idea how it got there. But that wasn't the only discovery. A hidden search on Daniel's phone revealed terrifying queries like how to disable phone tracking, police missing person timeline, and how long before a body is untraceable. This was no longer a missing person case, it was now a criminal investigation. But then came the most shocking twist. A week after the search history was found, Daniel disappeared. He fled the city. A nationwide search began. For months there was no trace until a truck driver reported seeing him near a rural highway motel. Police rushed to the location, but Daniel was gone again, and Emily was still missing. 6 months later a breakthrough finally came from an unexpected source. A construction crew working near an abandoned property 40 miles outside the town made a grim discovery: a buried tarp, inside personal items belonging to Emily Carter, and deeper in the soil human remains. DNA confirmed it: Emily was gone. The investigation shifted fully to homicide. A nationwide warrant was issued for Daniel Brooks. He was eventually captured at a bus station in another state, tired, disguised, living under a fake name. During interrogation Daniel finally confessed, said he went to Emily's house that night to talk, but the conversation turned into an argument. He admitted he lost control, said he panicked afterward and tried to cover what happened. But investigators believed something deeper. Evidence suggested premeditation, the search history, the planning, the location tracking. It wasn't just a moment of rage, it was something planned step by step. Daniel was charged and later convicted, but for Emily's family justice came too late. This case is more than a mystery, it's a reminder that sometimes danger doesn't come from strangers, it comes from people we think we know. A 17-second 911 call was all it took to signal danger, but what police missed in those first critical minutes changed everything. A slightly open door, a silent house, a moment not fully understood, and a life that could not be saved. Even today Emily Carter's story is shared in true crime communities, not just as a case but as a warning, because sometimes the most important clues are the ones that seem too small to notice, and sometimes by the time we understand them, it's already too late.